See, the black man has to be proud, Nick. Remember, you come from a nation of kings and queens. Then the man showed up with a boat and a one-way ticket.
Dr. Akosua Purby teaches African history and is specialized in the slave trade.
The Europeans came to Africa in the 15th century. And when they arrived, they found a well-knit political system in Africa.
A well-made political system?
Yes, well-knit political system. In other words, they were centralized state with kings, chiefs, well-established political systems. They also found that there was a well-established economic system in terms of trading and so on. And so they recognized who the Africans were. And they found strong states, kings who were ready to negotiate with them on equal basis and partnership basis, both in the trade and so on. And in fact, when the Europeans started building the forts and castles, they asked permission from the kings to build their land, to build the forts, and then they paid rent for the forts. So they needed, as it were, the Africans to agree on equal basis or partnership basis to enslave their fellow Africans.
So if Africans had not sold other Africans to the Europeans, there wouldn't have been a slave trade?
I think so. Because the Africans were strong enough. If they had said no, perhaps the Europeans themselves would have tried to go inland, and that would have been very, very difficult.
When I come to Africa, you know the first thing that comes to my mind? What would my life be like if my ancestors hadn't been enslaved? What would I be?
Maybe you would have been a chief in Asante Mampong.
I like being chief.
Yeah, you're a chief, and people have called you Nana, Nana, Nana Brebre, Nana Brebre, Nana Brebre.
It's a nice idea, but if my ancestors had been chiefs, it's not very likely that they would have ended up in chains on a slave ship. It's more likely that they'd have been selling slaves and buying guns.